lot of my issues are almost more mindset than in game. So
Hmm.
I think trying to figure those out has been. I think you're probably the best at mindset and stuff. So
Sure. Sounds good. I appreciate that. Um, cool. So I've got your replay. I'm sharing my screen with you on Discord.
yeah,
Um, I did look at your um description, which sounds like basically what you just told me.
yeah.
Confidence, mindset, and losing games and laning stage. So what are you say mentioned learning more about your best heroes? What are your best heroes that you're looking to learn in this specific context, or
Yeah.
what does that mean exactly?
I I have 5 right now. Abaddon, Night Stalker, Dawnbreaker, Beastmaster, and Marcy. Um, I probably want. I'm not sure if I should get that number lower. Historically, I've played too many heroes, so I've kind of scaled down a bit. Um, but I just I think like my most played offlaner is Night Stalker, and I have like 70 games on him, which is just really low for how many overall games I have in Dota.
Did
So I
you
think
were you always an offlaner or did you
not
move?
always, no.
Okay, gotcha.
Probably only in the last few years. So I had been doing a lot of carry support, stuff like that. So in that sense, it's like not surprising, but even on the other roles I played, I don't have a lot of like just raw hero mastery. Like I've just kind of bounced from hero to hero historically. So I want to like take time to really like get in depth with like the few heroes I'm choosing.
I wrote down four of them. I missed the fifth one. It's Abaddon, Night Stalker, Beastmaster, Marcy, and what?
Dawnbreaker.
Dawnbreaker. Thank you. Okay, so I see that we have a Marcy game here.
Yeah.
Um, why did you choose this game in particular?
Yeah, so this game wasn't really what I expected to happen when I queued up a game. We actually the lane was like very easy. In fact, like to whatever extent, like you might just want to like speed through the lane. I rarely win lane. Uh, this lane went really well, and the game was in a really good spot. I think I died at 15 minutes, 13 minutes, something like that, and from a like really far ahead position, and kind of like the game stalled, and we eventually lost. So I don't know if it was my itemization or like not prioritizing farm, not prioritizing fighting. Like I'm not sure.
Hmm. Okay, so just to make sure, because this whole VIP thing is new, my goal, you're my second one, so I've at least
Okay.
gotten some practice with it. My
Mhm.
goal from this, just depending on what game you give me, since it might be limited, is to develop at least two or three things, depending on how many stages of the game we address in the first 30
Mhm.
minutes of this session, to figure out, hey, I think we want to focus on this for you. This is what I think
Yep.
is your core problem in the laning phase, or this is your core problem in the mid game, or what have you. And my goal is to then do a live session with you, where I actually watch you play, but rather than like me telling you everything to do in the game, I'm going to try to tell you what to do only in regards to the thing that we're talking about. Um,
Gotcha.
so to hopefully help isolate specific facets of your game,
Mhm.
and perhaps exactly how it plays out is I think going to vary, but the goal is also to help you see like how often I'm going to tell you to do something different than what you would have done, and also to see how big of an impact changing this can possibly have on your game. The last
Okay.
person I coached was a carry player, and he was about 2K, and he didn't really consciously choose to go to fights or not. It just felt like wherever he was, he just if there was a fight near him, he was there. If it wasn't near him, he might TP. But it like there wasn't really clear decisiveness on where to go on the map. So I spent the entire time telling him, okay, our goal is to minimize interaction with you in terms of
Mhm.
hitting enemy heroes as a carry, and like look to avoid fights unless you're choosing to go to them. So I'm gonna dictate your map movements under that premise, and so that's what I did with him. So we'll just have to see what I do with you here. I'm going to
Gotcha.
fast forward through the laning stage, but as I do that, feel free to ask any questions or based on anything I just said.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so you have a pretty strong lane, Marcy Sky. Do you generally skip Helm of the Dominator, or what's the deal with your items?
I started Helm the Dawn when I was like first learning Mercy. I think I've kind of like because I've seen other non Helm Dawn builds, so I've kind of been trying those out. In case like there's a patch and Helm Dawn gets really nerfed or whatever. I like both. I don't really have a good feeling right now of when to go one or the other. Like on Night Stalker, I kind of just default rush Helm Dawn, but Marcy, I it depends.
Gotcha. Interestingly enough, I probably would go like 1-1-3 if I was skipping Helmdom, just because I feel like I'm gonna have serious sustain issues, which is kind of what's
Okay.
happening.
Yeah.
I guess just my thought of is when I'm considering items, if I'm skipping an item or going against the meta a little bit, I'll try to consider what I'm giving up for it. And in the case of Helmdom, it is, yeah, it's a creep to bounce off of, so your rebound is innately worse, and then
Yeah.
um, you also don't have sustain. So just theory crafting. I'm not saying it's like strictly right or wrong because I haven't really played Marcy recently without Helmdom. Um, but that's how I would adjust myself if I was going to try a different build.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I'll definitely have to try that.
um, yeah, it's a lot more so just like thinking about when you're adjusting your builds. I'm mainly aiming for the general approach of how this affects you. You guys are up
Yeah.
15-0. You end up
Yeah.
winning or losing this game?
We lose this game.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to rush Ags. Okay. So, like you said, this is a pretty straightforward laning stage.
Mhm.
You see a fight going on mid, but fine if you don't go because it's, yeah. Okay. Seems like you're ready to help your team. I don't really know. I am fast forwarding. Do you generally check the enemy's items a lot? Like, I don't know what their timings are and stuff.
I could probably do a better job of doing it more.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking, like, what's Axe going? Okay, he rushed Blink. I wasn't sure if you, like, went Blade Mail or Helm Dom or Rush Blink. So he rushed Blink.
Mhm.
Um, so I do think if you're going to skip Helm Dom, I would say it's probably not optional to skip Shard at 15. Um,
Okay.
at least after you finish the big item before it. Just because for farm and for fights, I feel like it's really hard to play the game without Shard or Helm Dom, like something to jump off of.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, here I would definitely go Shard like right now. Yeah. So I guess what is the thought going through your head here? Right? You're up by 10k, you don't have your ult, you don't have teammates with you. Like what is the thought here?
Yeah, I think here I initially just wanted to connect back towards bottom, and then like we ended up running into them, and then I was like, oh, I gotta get out of here, and I kind of went back in after and died.
I see.
Like in hindsight, looking back at it, I think after that initial escape, I should have just let Pudge go and then leave. But I'm also not sure if it was even correct for me to walk in this direction in the first place.
Hmm. Let me think. Yeah, just give me a second here.
Mm.
Um, okay, I guess the more important question, if we're talking about mindset, is after this play happens, what's going through your brain? Like after this
Um,
whole ordeal?
I think after this play happens, so like in terms of the in-game stuff, I'm like, okay, me dying here is not good, especially I think Ursa got the kill. Like, but it's probably fine. Like I just at this point, okay, I need to like kind of switch gears and like farm my BKB and just be a little bit careful not being alone or not being with just the Pudge. Um, I mean, in terms of like, it was definitely like a, oh, okay, like there was the death I was kind of like almost expecting. I was like, I couldn't really even believe that I was like whatever 9-0 or whatever it was. I ended up dying here too. Like I don't know. I kind of was like starting to force stuff. It kind of felt like, oh, like okay, like I didn't expect to be in the game state I was when like the first death happened, and
Meaning
I
you
think I
weren't
was just like,
expecting to be 7-0 or what?
yeah, I didn't expect to be 7-0. I was like, oh, I must be so strong that like I'm unkillable, and then I died, and I was like, I'm not unkillable, you
I
know,
see.
like dang, this sucks, so yeah,
Okay,
I think I just
so
didn't objectively look at the game. It was more so like a I feel strong or I feel like invincible right now, and then I wasn't.
what do you think generally prevents you from objectively looking at the game?
Um, I think that's a good question. I think partially I maybe don't trust my judgment on like when I try to analyze, okay, like I would say my attempt at like objectively viewing the game is like, okay, like Ursa, Axe, and Sniper can all still kill me. So like I don't really know if I'm, like okay, I'm 7-0, whatever it is, but like I don't really know if I am still gonna win this game because these heroes like historically are really good in or like on paper are really good in this spot, not counting like levels and like items and stuff like that. So it's almost like I'm kind of just like using past games as a reference point and not really looking at the game I'm in. Um,
Hmm.
I I don't really know why. Um, that's like
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you seem to be fully aware that using past games as references is kind of keeping you from objectively seeing the game. Is that correct?
Y- yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Um, so then the question is, we can talk a little bit about because you said you don't know why.
Mm.
I think. Let me think. Does this tend to happen to you more? Like, does this thing fluctuate how much you do this, or is this pretty consistent? You would say.
I think it depends. Like, it will fluctuate based on like how I'm doing in my last like 10, 20, 30 games, whatever it is. Like,
Okay.
if I'm confident and I'm like, yeah, like, I've been on a overall like an upward streak, it doesn't really I'm usually able to kind of just like sit down and focus. I think it's when I'm like, I'm not sure how I'm doing or I'm like I think Marcy of the 5 heroes I list is probably the newest for me. I'm not as comfortable on the hero. Like I don't I'm like I don't know if like the thought in my head, especially like thinking about this game afterwards, or maybe like after like more deaths in this game, was like I felt like um if this like the statistics I got were like so rare for me. I'm like I quote unquote deserve to win. And I know that's like a toxic. It's kind of like it's kind of like a weird. I don't know if it's toxic mindset, but it kind of feels like it's incorrect. I guess it's like I deserve to win because I'm off to this great start and I crushed my lane and like it's so rare that I do this. And I know after these 2 deaths, I was like, "I can't believe I'm gonna lose this game," like, kind of, like, almost just manifesting the loss, even though objectively the game was still fine, you know?
Yeah.
So I think if I'm if I just don't have that confidence or, like, something goes wrong, I'm like, "Oh, like, there's the mistake, like, there's the thing that's gonna, like, throw this game into chaos." And so but it doesn't really answer your question, but that is kind of, like, my thought process later on.
I mean,
I just
it's
yeah,
it
yeah.
sounds like some degree of imposter syndrome combined with
Yeah,
um I mean, I can relate very much to um I think almost every Dota player can relate to, I've been on a pretty big loss streak recently as well, and
mhm,
there tends to be this loss in like faith that things will work out or that things, you
yeah,
almost have this foreboding joy where it's like, hey, I'm owning. Like, but rather than
yeah,
like owning the fact that you're owning, you're more like, when am I going to stop owning? I haven't
yeah,
been
yeah, that's
owning.
a perfect way to describe it, yeah.
So I think, I think for me personally, the most powerful thing with any of this stuff is simply being aware that how we handle loss streaks, like what our brain literally does. So, like each
Mhm,
individual. So, like in your case, it seems like when you're struggling with confidence, that you will, like, because you've been losing or maybe you haven't played well recently, that the
mhm,
second things proceed to go well, you're more preparing yourself for the inevitable disappointment. So maybe it doesn't hit as hard rather
yeah,
than, playing the game that you're currently in. So I think first and foremost, just simply having that awareness. I'm just gonna put. I don't like the idea in the thing that it says mistakes to fix, but like in regards to this, but
yeah, sure.
the idea of foreboding joy for you,
Mhm,
and how that pertains to how you handle loss streaks or loss of confidence, how that plays out when you are actually having a good game.
mhm,
Um, and so for me, it's kind of a two-step process. First, it's like, okay, let's try our best to like identify the inner mechanism that's effectively happening here, which I think is a lot for you to kind of think to yourself, because I think it's important to give it a face. I think the face is foreboding joy. Um,
yeah,
and we give it a face, and then it's kind of on you on your own to think, why do I do that? It's not, from in my
yeah,
experience, something that you'll be able to answer in this session. It's something for you to
yeah, it
kind of
seems like some
think.
deeper
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Mhm,
So kind of just leave that on your own time. And whatever comes to mind. Sometimes it just requires sitting on it and just observing our lives and then seeing like, shit, I'm
yeah,
doing it again, what's happening, and then like kind of checking in with yourself. um
yeah,
so but I think one thing that's powerful for myself and what we can do right now and like what we can hopefully apply in the next game is, um what would we like to say to ourselves when we catch ourselves thinking this way, right?
yeah,
Like I find myself in the game questioning how I got here. Um,
yeah,
why, how am I owning so much? Like, like all these questions that are not. I think any question that's trying to evaluate how good or bad you're playing or evaluate your chances of winning, I don't think is a good question. I think it only leads to incredibly emotionally driven and
mhm.
uh like ego driven decision making. Um does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So I wouldn't label it as toxic, but I would label it as self-destructive. Because
Mhm,
um my one of my favorite sayings is the more you think about winning, the less you're going to win. The more
yeah,
you think about how good you're doing, the less good you're going to do. I think any of these things take you out of flow state. You're no longer in flow state when you're thinking about yourself playing. Um,
yeah,
like when you're just operating on instinct, then that's how flow state happens. So then I ask myself, what's like a good question or a good thing to say to myself um in this spot. So, you know, different people work different ways. I've found that, one thing that helps me is that, okay, what's this preventing me from doing? It's preventing me from looking at the game objectively. What's a question that I can ask myself that helps me look at the game objectively? Um, and one question I think that would help you a lot here, and this is particularly goes with, you know, um, when you're owning, um, what does my teammate heroes want to do with a lead,
Yeah.
and how much of the map do we control? So what that generally means is how much of the map do we control gives us like a good idea of the state of the game. So like right now, you guys control 3/4 because you guys have got this quarterback here, this quarterback here, and they've got this quarter, right?
Yeah.
That's how much you control. So I think as long as that control is above 50%, you're generally pretty happy when you're winning.
Hmm.
Um, and so I'd also ask, what do my heroes like to do with a lead? Well, maybe Pudge Sky like to run at people and Anti-Mage likes to farm.
Yeah.
So then what I'm thinking is that the only concern is that they try to stop us from doing that. And so I'm only really concerned if they gank Anti-Mage. Like I'm going to try to be ready for that or think about the opponent ganking him. And I'm only going to be running around with Pudge and Sky, like full power
Okay. Hmm.
kind of thing. So that's what this, for me, these questions are helping me do is like, what do my teammates want to do with a lead? And then check where they are kind of thing. And how
Yeah.
much of the map do we currently control? And a lot of times if it's like you have a Huskar or an Ursa, it's like, well, these heroes like to kill heroes or Roche, And it's
Mhm.
like, okay, well then we can look to play around Roche and take it the second that an opportunity arises. Um, I do think
Yeah.
the most important thing in pubs, not just pubs, but even Dota as a whole, is that when you're winning, you're strong enough to fight. But also, I think every hero in the game needs something like for people to be viable right now. Every hero in the game needs to be content farming when they're winning,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like, if nothing's happening, like the opponent's just turtling, you're okay with that, you know? But you also don't want to build just the farm because then you might give the opponent too much space. So one of the mistakes I've made recently is I do think the first 15 minutes is like an all-out brawl for who controls the most area. And then
Yeah.
once that happens, everyone kind of settles down and farms however much of the map they control at that point. And then it's only
Mhm.
really about how much of the map do we control at that point, and how does our decision making in the game interact with that? Does that kind of make sense to you? What I'm going for here?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like what I see here objectively, because I know that's not how you're thinking, so it's not like I
Mhm.
don't think you know this or whatever. But what I see objectively is you
Yeah.
control 75% and you're running into the enemy 25% with two heroes, and you
Yeah.
don't have an item that allows you to feel good farming. And that's kind of where the shard comes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't go Helm Dump. So I think whatever hero you're playing, you'll probably notice that come the 15-minute mark, behind or ahead, it feels pretty bad if you just can't do anything farm related as a core. Like you're just like, I can't just farm. It's not
Yeah.
that we want you to just farm, but knowing that that's not an option feels really bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
definitely agree with that.
Okay. So, um, you know,
I also
go
think
ahead.
to add on to that, like because of the LD mid, I kind of felt like I also kind of run into these issues, like specifically in offlane when my mid is also like kind of just wants to farm. I know LD is like a little bit more of a hybrid, at least compared to anti mage, but I kind of had a hard time finding areas of the map to farm, and I know part of that is because I don't have like the fast farming speed of Houndoom or Shard, but like from and again like I wasn't completely looking at the map and stuff like, but from this spot I'm like, okay, do I like TP back to my like safe lane tier 2 and like just farm that area for a minute like while my ult's on cooldown? Like I wasn't really sure where to go because like even from this spot here. Like, I often find myself running into my mid or my carry's farming path.
I see. So here, like what you did was it's 15 minutes. You don't have your ult for 40 seconds. So what I would do right here, since anti-mage is farming mid, and
Mhm.
Skywrath mage is respawning, I would probably walk back to these camps back here. Maybe even consider pulling this in order to get the creeps over so I can jump them.
Yeah. Okay.
And I would buy shard here, of course. So you're pretty
Okay.
close to your shard. Um, and so I guess my thought is that there's a limitation to how much back here you can go, meaning
Yeah.
that then you're just like leaving your anti-mage and lone druid susceptible
Right.
to dying. But I would also say that with your build, you're like a really good counter initiator, but you don't want to get gone on.
Right.
Um so then I would just think I want my farm in this game to be behind the lone druid on the map, like on the same half of the map as him, but he's in front of me. That's like
Okay.
how I would think about this game.
Mhm.
Um, so we can get into this whole idea. Like next game, I'm gonna communicate to you because we are pulling up at around the 30-minute mark to get you into your live game. What I'm gonna
Okay.
do is I'm going to kind of fixate on when you probably pass the first 6 to 7 minutes of the laning stage, where the lanes start, people start moving around and all that kind of stuff. I'll just communicate to you who we want to be the point of contact, what your role in the game is. Like, are you initiator, counter initiator? Um, are you, damage dealer, whatever you are. So this is kind of a hybrid build of like team fight control and I'd say more so counter initiation given the exact matchup you have. Like you can't tank an Axe with Blink and an Ursa with Blink.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have it yet, but the idea is that um, you know, I think the best thing about the mentality wise is just let's give you some crucial questions that I'm going to answer for you during the next game and give you answers for so that
Yeah.
hopefully you have a bit of a template for good questions that will recenter your focus during the game. And learning a system for yourself of detecting, okay, I'm doing the whole imposter syndrome, worried about something bad happening before it even happens. How do I snap
Yeah.
myself out of it?
Okay.
And for me, a lot of it's just like, okay, this thought's not helping me. This is the question that I would rather have instead. And then that helps me personally redirect my attention. But rather than copy
Mhm.
pasting whatever I told you, it's more like, does that work for you? Feel free to word it in some different way. But we basically have to
Okay.
cognitively reframe our thinking, is the only way we can really do it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Okay, cool. So looks like we're going to be majorly focused on the mid game, just based on the maybe mid to late game, based on the game that you gave me. Because
Okay.
obviously it ends up
Yeah.
kind of going to shit, back and
Yeah.
forth. But
Mhm.
let's. I'm gonna need you to go here and request a coach in the game,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
I will
Now.
find you in a non creepy way.
Yeah, I think even something as simple as just like taking a second to breathe and like look at the mini map will help. Um, just to kind of be like, okay, where are my heroes? Like, where am I playing? Sometimes I just don't do that in those spots. I think that would have helped. Let's see.
I will say that I'm reading a book about dealing with stuff like this, and one of the things that the author writes is that she said that people who are able to basically remain calm and remain present, um, she called
Mhm.
them annoying breathers. Like they just stop and breathe a lot.
Yeah.
And I've noticed I do that a lot in my last like year or two of my life, like more so than I
Mhm.
ever did. And so I just wanted to say, like, I do believe it's insanely powerful if you find yourself in those type of dangerous mind like rabbit holes that you said like maybe it's just breathe and look at the mini map. Like that can definitely have a huge impact. So
Oh, cool.
let me know when
Thanks.
you pull it up. Maybe you already did.
Yeah, no, I'm loading in right
Oh,
now to
okay,
Dota.
gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So can I? Okay, I did hit the looking for coach button.
8 people. Oh shit.
Do I have to be like, do I have to be in game to start it, or is it just
Yeah, be in game. You have to go to the bottom left and request a coach. Let me know once you've done
okay?
that, and I'll find you here.
Okay, yeah, I'm queuing for a game now.
Okay.
Oh, yep, there you go.
My coaching score is gonna go so up. It's gonna be epic. Um, is there a? Would you like to maybe do Marcy again, just for the sake of having like a strong laning hero that with similar decisions we saw, or what hero would you prefer out of your 5 to play here?
Yeah, I think probably Marcy.
Okay.
I think she's the one I'm most actively learning, but um, if she's banned, I'll maybe just pick from the other five, depending on the
Sure.
game.
I would say don't do Dawnbreaker because she plays the map like significantly different than the other 3. I think
Yeah,
I think any of
she.
the other 3 is fine.
Yeah, I think Dawnbreaker. I I think I have some like one of the most games of her at least recently. But she definitely is different. Um, Not bad habits, but she definitely taught me different habits from that macro and stuff. So
Yeah, for sure. I believe that. Um, I just put in your notes for what you can watch in your own replays. Usually I fill this out, after the game, but I do think like when you take fights, how does
mhm,
that pertain to how much of the map you control? Like I think it would benefit you to look at
okay,
skirmishes that you take, whether it's a team fight or a 2v2, and ask, did I step into enemy territory for this? And the answer is almost always, if I do step into enemy territory, I should probably smoke.
okay,
And also the other question is, did you perhaps choose the wrong territory to control? You were winning the game and you played bottom all the time when Roche is top, and you just like gave it to him or something. That's like an example.
okay,
Um, so a lot of it for you, I think about grounding you in terms of your thoughts. I would like to fixate on assessing the actual state of the game objectively rather than the um, chances of winning and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to
gotcha.
give
Yeah,
you something that I think is like it is objective. This team controls this much. This team controls that much. And that's like I think a healthier way to assess the state of the game. Basically,
okay,
that's why I chose that.
yeah, yeah, that'll definitely help.
Go for it. Just go ahead and lock in the Marcy, dude. No hesitation. He's first pickable anyway. Pudge was picked by
Yeah,
both teams. Oh my goodness.
shocker. Okay, we're a Bitcoin Ranger.
It's up to you what build you'd like to go. I think if you don't go Helm Dom, let's do the 114 and see how it feels. If you do go Helm Dom, then go ahead and max out the W. I'm curious how it ends
Okay,
up playing out. Which one
yeah,
do you usually decide based on the game itself, or do you go in kind of thinking I want to try this? Like how have you been deciding that since you're still kind of learning the hero?
yeah. I think at this point I'm basing it on the game.
Hmm.
But previously I was kind of depending on, or I was just kind of like I want to spam 10 games of Helm Dom, 10 games of
I see.
Phase, whatever it may be. So I have a
Okay,
lot of experience like using Helm Dom just while I was learning Marcy.
gotcha.
Yeah, Ursa, DK.
So my assessments real quick is that there's going to come a point past 15 minutes that you never want to get initiated onto ever again, which means that you'll likely want to go
Yeah.
blink this game in order
Okay.
to follow up the Mars or the Puck and choose your targets. So for
Mhm.
me, I think Ags is out of the question, but if you want to go Helm Dom, either way is fine. I'd say you definitely want BKB Pazure Blink, and then from there, kind of just depends on where the game is going. Looks like Wind Ranger supports, so Nullifier might solve the problem instead of MKB. Um,
Yeah. I like
yeah,
Nullifier against Ursa too.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Solves
Yeah.
the Ursa problem too. So yeah, I think the biggest thing is that you will not want to be the point of contact past 15 minutes. You're
Okay.
almost certainly a follow-up hero to anything that happens, or jump the backlines. Because if you go in first and you get like DK stunned and Ursa, you're just fucking dead. So we don't want that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I probably will go Helm Dom this game. Just as another way to not show on lanes.
Okay. You have a Mars 4, not the strongest laner, but maybe it goes okay with you.
Yeah. Some kill potential.
I would even consider like leveling bodyguard level 1 and just like using it on him if he walks up. I'd even consider that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Also, you can afford to be a bit patient in fights because you have like Puck and Oracle and Muerta, like pretty survivable heroes with, you know, the ability to draw out the fight a bit.
Yep.
It is corrosive DK. Looks like Wind Ranger 5, Rubik 4. We didn't really talk too much about your laning phase, so I'm kind of just going to let you play this one out since your lane in the
Okay.
replay went so well.
Yeah.
You can look to toss him here. Okay. You can go back to CSing after that. Just more like fucking with him.
Side portal.
I would probably consider brown boots here, just to like do what you're
Okay.
doing, because you're kind of just defensively aggroing, which is fine.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna want to buy
Responded.
boots, and that's really interesting because I think your Q is only good in lanes where you want to kill people. I wouldn't have even leveled it. It's not a good spell for securing range like you did. So
Yeah.
just for
Okay.
future reference, it's too late now, of course. Go ahead and TP back
Yeah.
in. Your Mars got the Lotus. I would even just take a second point E after this almost. Like, I would consider that. Or, actually, no, I'd go 1-1-1 into second, then maxing E.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe I'll just go like phase blink shard or something.
Yeah. Might be worth considering at this point. Like, when he's up alone like this, you should toss him into you guys. Like, you can walk up and toss this guy. He can't sit here. Yeah, and then the second Wind Ranger comes back, we're just chill again, you know? Yeah. Ursa's not allowed to, like, be alone against you guys like this. You're ready to toss him on this range. No, 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 no! That was so good! Fuck. No, 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 it's bad now, it's bad now.
Yeah.
If he goes for that range, you better punish his ass. Yeah. Nice. Oh, no.
Oh, I missed my W.
All good. All good. Mental reset. Might still get him. Up. Nice. Watch out for the power shot. I would just hit creeps. I would just hit. Just hit. Just hit. Watch out for the power shot in the meantime. I would be hitting creeps. You want to be done with the lane. Just hit, hit, hit. And hit, hit, hit. Every second spent hitting. Yeah. Yeah. You're chilling. Mars is going to try to pull large. Oh, he's just not going to? Okay, he's late. Yeah, clear those as Actually, yeah, go scoop up the creeps. I'd contest them at the big camp, though.
Pull it into.
At least get the XP, I guess. There's not much you can do. Mars is kind of just AFK. He's literally AFK.
Yeah.
Get your phase and go to the side shop. Or go to the Lotus. Might be too late now. Toss him out if you can. Party card, party card, party. Run, 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 run. Get phase to run. Yeah. Awesome in tower. Come on, man up.
Oh.
Oh yeah, okay. You're still learning. I can tell on Marcy. Yeah, you have a very nice combo of the toss into W.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like you're scared of
Power shot
the
too.
Fury swipes building up.
Yeah.
Looks like bottom lane's going rough. Yep.
Okay. Got a coil down there at least. Maybe do something like that.
Okay.
Oh,
Game
yeah,
is
I
rough.
should have been tracking.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Puck went bottom and died. Mars left your lane as well. We're gonna have a tough time recovering. I actually think you might need to go Helm Dom anyway.
Okay.
Because we went phase to try to survive the lane, and then things went rough.
Yeah.
You have TP? No, you don't. Okay, you're gonna walk top.
Yep.
Okay, your Mars is coming back. You guys are both level 5.5. It looks like your Puck did win mid despite dying bottom. You guys might be able to go on Ursa here. He's level 6, actually. Never mind. Just hit creeps. Yep. Farm, farm, farm. Hit, hit, hit. Yep. Like your Mars wants to go. Not really sure. Yeah, you can join. Okay, go back to lane. Looks like you're a bit unfamiliar with the level 1 W.
Yeah. I'm used to like
Just
the,
hit.
the higher
Don't sit
level.
here AFK. Just hit. Yep.
Okay, just said okay.
Yeah. We never really want to AFK wave with supports nearby. Okay. You're gonna need level 6. Can't really go bottom though.
Oh shoot. I was.
Okay, we're gonna recommend the deep breath.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, pull hard if he doesn't. Okay. You can just hit the creeps in lane while he's doing that. Oh, there's a void spirit here. Okay. Little pep talk is needed. I know for a fact you've played enough Marcy to use your W better than this. So I believe in you.
Yeah.
I know we talked about the mentality issue, but I know you're good enough
Yeah.
at Marcy to play your W better than this. So we can be a bit more patient with our Ws, be more careful of Ursa. We can't make up for all the Ws we've missed. We can only look to hit the next ones. I would TP to this fight. Might be a nice recovery. Nice. Awesome. Okay. Oh god. We really need that ult.
Yeah, I know.
Bodyguard somebody? This game's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're back. Nice, casual, crown there.
Yeah.
You can maybe ult in here. Be careful, though. And at least buff the guy. Nice. You can use your innate thing to get yourself.
Yeah, I was considering waiting
And
for.
then pop your ult on this tower.
Okay.
Tell your team to be behind you. Oh god. Yeah, nice. I guess you're just getting out. Oh, do your thing. Yeah. That's his life. Okay, our game is really awkward now since we don't have Helm Dom or like we're just level 6 with nothing to do. I would honestly go hit jungle creeps. I think that's where you're at. I would not be here anymore. I would even consider Man, this is a really tough situation you're in. I'd just get away from your teammates.
Here.
Just get away from them. If you don't have ult, just get away from them. I think by being here, you're baiting your teammates to come help you.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So sadly, we are going to hit creeps very slowly now.
Yeah.
We're going to look to play around our ult. I think you max out your W at this point. I don't think the fourth point in
Okay.
your E is worth doing.
Yeah.
Let's look for playmaking on your allies side. You have a puck with Witchblade, pretty strong actually. So we might look to play around him. You have ult in 15 seconds. Maybe you can call for puck to come top actually with your ult. Your Mars is basically offlaner at this point. He's level 7, going blink.
Yep.
Can you call for your puck to come top? Get him. Nice. Yep. Use your ult on the tower. Just go. Stop hesitating. Yep. And you can TP mid after this. Like immediately after you kill the tower. Yep. Okay. TP mid. Nice. Try to get our Helm Dom up this quick wave if we can. Okay. Back off. Yep. Run away. You're down here. Run away. Yep. Almost Helm Dom. You can go just, I'd say the big camp here and finish it. Oh, you actually have it. Nice. Fly it up. Face up. We're going to have you start right-clicking your items to buy them when you get the gold for them. You need to do that ahead of time. I'll take note for that.
Yeah.
I'll let you play this part by yourself for a second. I'm going to take some notes.
Okay.
Nice. I think you go the next wave here. Don't just leave the wave behind. Puck's doing it. Okay, so at this point, I would always have your creep with you, so dominate a new one. You need to be farming. Yeah. Go to the next camp. Okay, so let's have you just go Basher. Yeah.
Basher? Okay.
Yeah. Or sorry, BKB into Basher.
BKB. Okay.
Yeah, I meant BKB.
Okay.
Spam that jump. Yep. I actually think you go Soul Ring to use your WE.
Okay.
Allowing you to farm more comfortably. Okay. You can look to play around Puck for the rune here. You also have ulti, so look to follow up the Mars. Yeah, this could be really good. Use that jump. Oh. Okay. I think we're done here. Oh, maybe we're not. Okay. You can TP bottom. And you're gonna dominate a creep from here.
Oh, from.
Yeah. And kill the camp. Yeah, you'll want to. Oh, yeah, you did soaring. Nice. Okay. Go down the wave. Fly yourself that TP. Use your jump. Yep. You can go next wave. I think we have a ward on the lane, so you should feel comfortable. Okay. Go to the camps. You have ulti in 20. You're gonna farm your way back towards your team here because you have ult. Soon. Your puck is getting initiated onto, but he lived. You can look to join this fight. You need your creep with you. Mars has arena in 20. Puck is I just go farm near. Yep, just farm here.
Okay. Okay.
You're chilling. Looks like nothing's happening. Yep, finish this camp. We can look to play. Puck is like not getting resources, so I think you're kind of just chilling.
Okay.
I'd work your way back towards bottom. You can do that camp as well, yeah. But Puck's got a DD. Okay, this might be good. Oof. I would call for a smoke with this, I feel like. Actually, just play according to whatever Puck wants to do. So it seems like he's chilling. I'd follow him, though. Just go wherever he goes. Yeah, this looks nice. You guys have a ward. Somebody here? Okay, go ahead and TP bottom again. You can just go straight to the wave this time. Tell your team you TP'd. Yeah, it'll be good practice for you to soul ring and then capture plus W. Yep. Fine though. You can buy your mithril, yeah. Okay. You can go to the camp here and just be near the team. See what the enemy team does here. Void Spirit's going Ags. Keep that in mind. You can just like buff your puck. Fine, actually, I think you're good to siege. First has blink, careful. No Ags on Void Spirit yet. You can just farm this camp when it's up. Use your soul ring to Helm Dom plus jump. Yeah, we're chilling. You can just back. I don't think this is a thing. If something breaks out, I think it's your job to TP mid in 5 seconds. But your puck is going. I don't think this is good. Yeah. Nice. I would now TP mid. Nice. You can go for the next wave. Let the puck have the rune. Soul ring, jump it. Yep. Okay. So right now it's about 50-50 on the map. Looks like Ursa's kind of playing alone. You can actually head towards the Ursa's half of the map, like with your farm. Just farm your way there.
Yep.
Since you don't have ult, we're farming our way there.
Yep.
And we kind of want to be following Puck when we are about ready to fight. So you can go here now.
Okay.
But since Puck is behind us, we're not really looking for anything here. Oh! Oh!
Oh.
We found something. We found something, yeah. Bonus kill! That's pretty funny. You can go for the next wave since he's dead. Be a bit cautious with your pathing, though, because we don't see anybody. Like, walk in the trees. Wait till you see somebody, otherwise just let your creep clear it. Okay, they're mid. You can TP mid. Yeah, TP mid. Get there. Yeah. Get in there, dog. Not the Wind Ranger. Oh. Oh no. Please die, Wind Ranger. Okay. Okay, your team wants to go more. Nice. You can keep chasing, I think. Yeah. Urza TP top. You can just walk aggressively at this camp and take the creep. You guys can probably take this tower. They're dead for 30 on DK. I don't know if they have fort, but... Buff up your Muerta. Go their Ancients. Yeah, the Ursa was top, so since we don't have ulti, we're walking away from him.
Yep.
Yep. If we wanted to go more, because we had ult, then we would go towards the Ursa. Oh, okay. Looks like they have vision of you. Fine, though. You don't need to be that scared, I don't think, because you have the Oracle behind you. Ursa's here, though, so be a bit cautious. You can move yourself with the creep if you want. I'll let you go. I would just go tower. Oh no, just run, just run. Oh god, okay, you're going in. Fuck it. TP, 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 TP. Oh god, it might be too late.
Not yet.
Okay.
At least we still have the tier 1 there.
So I would like to remind that a really important thing is you are never in front on the chase. It is just not you. So if you're in front, you're actually going to bait people like Puck to follow you when they don't want to. I want to see Puck or Mars in front of you. And if they're in front of you, great. You know, then it's a good chase. So a lot of this is like the condition for the chase. Yeah. This guy's going to get gone on. He's going to die. Okay. So in that case, like, I would always default to hitting this tower rather than running in first. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so we can go towards our team. I'd say we're pretty strong. Don't let them have Roche for free, so I think farming in this area is good. I know your team kind of cleared it all, but I think even being near them is good. Your Muerta doesn't quite have BKB yet. Camps respawn, so we're good there. You can clear the 2 camps with you. I'd be efficient here. Mid-wave after this. But be ready to react to them going on Muerta. Just be ready. Then walk mid. It's a little awkward since Puck is also top. But we see Rubik. He has 2 smokes. Just sit behind by this guy for now. And then go to... Call Roche, actually. Call this. Yeah. Say, hey, guys. Oh, go to Puck. Go to Puck. Yeah, yeah. Might be dead. Yeah, I think you guys... this game's awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mars is behind them. Be ready. Just don't be the point of contact.
Okay.
Yep. There you go. Nice. The synergy. Throwing him into the wall. Okay. So I would TP bottom now. And then work your way back to your team after this wave. Yep, he can't kill you. It's fine. Oh, shit. Get him. Okay. I would just dominate a creep on the wave and then use it to help you farm. I probably wouldn't do this TP if I didn't have my BKB available. Because then I'd have to be really scared.
Yep.
Go towards mid-wave. Don't worry about the camps. We want to connect to our team in 25 seconds. That's kind of our timeline here. Yep. Mid-wave and to connect the team. Try to get that if you can. The wave. Yeah. That's your basher, I think. Yeah. Perfect. Go Roche. Call the Roche with your team. Honestly, just tell your team to Roche and just fucking ult that shit, dude. You can use your W to extend your ult. Yeah. Yeah, this is called taking control of the game here. Chill. Do your thing, actually. I'm gonna let you play it. Nice, dude. Yeah, I think as long as somebody's in front of you, this game feels pretty good.
Yeah.
I would TB bottom again. You're gonna jump this camp wave and then get the fuck out, though. Like, you're gonna do this and then go to the camp to get a creep. Yeah, now go to the camp, get off. Yep. And then run back to your team. Be careful of running into, like, DK over here. Scan, actually, never mind. You're good. Or just coming. You're about to get there. Fuck it. Scaring me. Nice. I think you can just back. Your puck's really low. He's TPing out. Your puck is not here. Oh, he is here. Holy shit, the turn! Good patience. Really good patience. I didn't realize your puck had ages.
Yeah.
Thought more at it. Go ahead and buff either puck or Morita. I would not dive.
Oh. The arena.
I would just hit ult here. Versus respawning, careful. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get that blink next. Take out the bounty rune. Let's reset your resources after clearing this camp. I want you to... You're gonna have... What does wand sell for? 225? Okay, so clear that camp, and then you're going to go to base and get your blink dagger by selling your wand. Okay. Never mind about what I just said. Your teammates just died, so we don't need to reset. You're going to calm down these creeps and just farm.
Yep.
Okay, reset these two camps. Nice. You can go top wave. You can run at this Void Spirit. He's not stronger than you. You're ready to W his ass. You are really stingy with a 60-second cooldown spell. Are my thoughts. They might be coming your way, so be a bit careful. Yeah, they're coming. The Void Spirit's running at you. He's running at you. Yeah. Whew. TB base. Reset your mana. Oh, gosh. BKB TB? Yeah. Okay. You're going to go with your puck, so just run behind your puck here. Sell your wand. Yeah. All good. Actually, go back to your team. Your puck TP'd bottom, though, so just be patient. You gotta kind of wait for your puck to get back to your team. So you're gonna, like, dominate these creeps on the left and, like, farm your way towards your team, because you need your puck. Your timing to be with your team here is your puck. The puck's working her way there, so you can meet your team at about the same time. Yeah, so you'll want to meet your team at the same time. You'll have to be more patient because you don't have BKB. You can send your creep down the lane. Yeah, go to your team. Go, go, go. Yeah. I wouldn't have stopped to take that, by the way, for future reference.
Okay.
I'll let you worry about the fight, though. There's more important things than the watcher.
Yeah.
Remember, patience. Let somebody else go first. You don't have BKB. Ursa has BKB. He's not using it, though. Okay, your patience was like a 6 out of 10. I need you to make it like a 9.
Okay. Yeah.
So you waited for people to go, but it wasn't good. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they didn't do anything with their initiation. So I think
Yep.
in that case, the only thing that you can do better is not go when you see a bad initiation.
Okay. Yeah.
So you did a good job of waiting for people to go first, but now we can be more picky about what exactly do we need to see before we feel good about following up.
Yep.
Oh god, the stolen Muerto ulti. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
Hog.
I actually did it. I did it once. You actually keep the shard stacks too because
Nice.
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
It looks like your team's still loading.
Yep.
Notice how what happens when you're not selective enough. This is a hero that's like really important to select when you go past like mid to late game because you either blow people up with your ult or you just do that.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. So you're gonna TP bottom and you're gonna give momentum to this bottom wave.
Okay.
So you're gonna like TP, blink your way there. You're gonna dominate a lane creep. Like you're gonna get there as soon as you can and get this for your team.
Okay.
You've got 30 seconds before Ursa and Void Spirit are alive, so we need to get that done as soon as possible. Yeah. Let our team do their thing. Yeah. Nice, Verona. Oh, yeah. Don't even use that on the camp next time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so important that we give this momentum. Yeah, this, like, time here sucks. Okay, so watch out for Ursa respawning. He may TP on you. I just ulti. If you're gonna sit there, yeah. Go and ulti for the camp, or for the tower. Okay, the fight top and it's still going. Okay. Yep. You can clear the next wave. You're gonna clear the next wave and then GTF. This fight's still going, so you can maybe join it. Even without ulti, you're kind of strong. Yeah. This fight's like fucking eternal.
Yeah.
Lol. Okay. Clear the way behind you. We need creeps. Actually, oracle's on the case. You can honestly...
I do have all BKB.
Yeah, I was thinking you're strong. I feel like this Ursa's not strong. I don't think he has BKB right now. Fuck him up before they're alive. You can walk in. Like, walk up to here. If he shows, get him. Jump! Use your jump!
Oh.
BKB him. Yeah. Hawk just ditched you. Okay. It looks like you're unfamiliar with blink combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you blink, get the bash, and then jump him after you bash him.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's work in progress. I think if
Yeah.
you executed that properly and Ursa doesn't get his enrage off, you would have probably killed him.
Yeah.
But I also thought Puck would be with you, and he just left. So
Yeah.
okay, go ahead and I'd go Nullifier. Wait, does Wind Ranger
Okay.
have
Yeah.
BKB? Yeah. Just go Nullifier, and you can now focus Wind Ranger if you see him.
Okay.
You can use your courier to get the thing, the
Yep.
Sacred
This Puck
Relic.
is juking.
I think the Rubik just didn't lift him when he could have.
Yeah.
And you're gonna sell your Soaring when you get the Nullifier. You can look to join your team here. There is a Bloodthorn on DK, so that's a bit scary. Roche is probably up. You guys can actually just do that. Okay. Your Muerta is hitting... This is chaotic. Okay. I'd go to Roche with Muerta.
Okay.
At this point, I think you want to be playing while Muerta, so go ahead and farm near her. Like, you want to get these camps behind you. Yeah, so we want to dictate our farm based on who we want to play around, and we're also really close to an item, so we don't want to just sit here doing nothing. Go Ancients. Finish your item.
Longest duration respawn on Rush.
Yeah, so Muerta started Roche, so after this you go help her. Okay. You have your item. You can finish this for your neutral as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're gonna follow Muerta. So let Muerta be in front of you. And she's got Aegis, so be really fucking patient. That's like you're buffing Muerta and being so fucking patient you can't believe it. Like, you're at like a 10 on patience. DK blinks in, Void Spirit goes in, Ursa goes in, and then you go. You can just blink behind the Muerta and buff them up. Yeah. Keep waiting. Yep, keep waiting. That's too far up. Yep. Just keep waiting. You guys, it's such long fights. You have Oracle, you have Aegis. You're too far up. Okay, if that's a 10, I need you to make it a 25.
Okay.
Nice. Nice.
Yep.
The thing about this sort of hero is you're such a huge threat, they can just never go on your teammates. If you just never go in. Like, it looks really weird as, like, a hero that only does damage by being point-blank range, but that's why I'm telling you to be so patient.
It is definitely, like, different to what I guess my perception of Marcy was, but it does actually feel a lot better, so...
Come on, Oracle, save him! Oracle! Oh my gosh. You can prepare your Oracle for that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, looks like a win.
It does.
So the game's over, so we can talk during this time.
Yep.
I guess, how did that feel? I mean, I know it's stressful. We can't ignore that. You're trying to play a game while getting screamed at. Or not screamed at, maybe, but getting told what to do. Like, how did it feel overall, other than stressful?
I think it felt pretty good. I think the fact that the lane didn't go well was actually good. I think it was good to get that knowledge in as well, because obviously the replay was like a very unique situation. So figuring out how to recover was good. I do think I don't know if it's like I need to get more comfortable with level 1 W or if I just need the max W because I think the level 1 W, the range on it kept messing me up early.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like that can be something I can experiment more, but maybe it is like 2 points bodyguard or 3 points bodyguard into max W, something like that. I think that kind of felt pretty good. Um, but yeah, all the fight stuff I think felt good and like TPing the waves and stuff. I think that definitely helps. I feel like
Yeah.
I didn't fall behind in farm like I might have trying to play with my team. Felt like a pretty good balance.
Yeah. I think. So regarding the laning phase, we did have you experiments a bit there. So it might
Mhm,
just be needing to max W. You know, we had talked about potentially not going Helm Dom, and the
mhm.
thing about that was, it would have been predictably safe to just max W and play Marcy the way that she did. So we did find out like the limitation of going max E. And then in that
Yeah,
case, it's like if max E is bad, then probably skipping Helm Dom is bad. Like that's like
true. Yeah, yeah,
probably
that
how
does
I
make
would
sense.
look at it.
Yeah.
Because um I guess the way that I saw the lane, so first off, unless I have a really aggressive four, like okay, if I'm starting the lane defensive aggroing, I don't level Q. Like, I can
Okay.
just tell you that right now, you're not leveling Q level 1 if you're starting the lane with defensive aggro. It's like if your
Okay.
instinct is to run up to the carry and toss him the second the lane starts, then you level Q. Does that make
Okay.
sense? Um,
Yes.
so like you tried to use it to secure range. That's just not a thing. You can just back up and take the range creep deny and pull the lane back with defensive aggro. And that's why I
Okay.
actually learned, because I learned this maybe playing 7 or 8 games of Marcy this patch, that you
Mhm.
just draw the lane back with bodyguard and use it to CS, and then you take your level 2 W usually. But if the lane's like in front of your tower, then you can maybe take level 2 Q and like toss them back that way. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because if it's in front of their tower and you're not going to toss the guy anyways, in this case, I don't think you're tossing him because you have a Mars 4. Like,
Right.
Mars 4 isn't really going to do anything with that.
Mhm.
Um, then, yeah, I mean, for me, the toss is how many times are you and your 4 going to hit the guy after you toss him? Otherwise, it's like a pretty useless skill, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're tossing him in order to get the creep, that's not like an effective skill in that case. So there's just like certain skills in Dota, like Toss, that are like individually terrible, but if they're used to get more hits off in lane, then they're good, right? So yeah, definitely
Mhm.
just something to think about with a hero like Marcy. I mean, what's like another skill? Something like Slardar Crush is like pretty garbage if you don't also like hit them twice, for instance.
Yeah.
Um, something like Legion Q is kind of bad if you're also not going to like hit them once or twice afterwards.
Mhm.
DK stun, for instance, it's all like how many times are you going to hit them during the stun, and
Yeah.
like the Marcy toss. So that was my first instinct with that.
Okay.
Um, when we watch your laning stage back, it's like I want you to think that however much percentage of the time you can be, you want to be hitting creeps when it's near your tower. Because if you're denying and last hitting, that means that every second the Ursa's not on top of the creeps, he's missing more, if that makes sense. So, like, I'm hitting
Yeah.
creeps when there's nothing in deny range. I'm denying when something's in deny range. I want the creeps to, like, die off as fast as possible because I also want the wave to be done before the next wave gets there. Does that
Gotcha.
make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I did
Um,
notice. I think it was the second wave, but I think he had like 6 creeps and we had like two or something. Like I think he built up a big wave like very early.
yeah.
Um. So.
And that's a problem that Marcy type offlaners Night Stalker can run into because they have no wave clear,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
Um, so I put it in your mistakes to fix. I said you're sitting with the wave too much. Like hitting creeps means controlling things. So like defensive aggro hit, defensive aggro deny, defensive aggro hit. Um, trusting your gut on like which one you're supposed to do at any given moment. But if you notice like really high MMR players
Mhm.
will really look like they're controlling the lane much more um consciously, I guess you could say. It's like very clear, like, yep, deny, last hit, deny, last hit. I did see you,
Okay.
like when you have two supports next to you, it's like I would want that to be a trigger to push the fucking lane because like
Just
otherwise,
push. Okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, I did feel like there was a little bit too much sitting there, I guess, and that might be the hesitation part because it was applying in the mid game where I tell you to TP away from your team. I do think preliminarily you have a concern that you're like you seem a bit deer in the headlights, and that might have been because I was
I've been
there.
yeah,
Um,
partially. I've been told that before too by, like, people I party queue with. It's just, like, I'm a
mm,
little indecisive
ah,
in terms of movements and stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
So the cool thing, I think, rather than worrying about the microcosms of the laning stage, I think your biggest thing to take away that I want to see, because we have the async replay where you're going to send me kind of an update of how it's been going. I would
Yep.
love to see, because I think Marcy's a great hero to practice this. I would love to
Mhm.
see a Marcy replay if possible. It can be one of the other ones, but I do think it'd be great to apply the skill, which
Yep.
is recognizing your contribution to the fight is over and like TPing away and then farming towards your team. I want you to watch this game back with the idea of
Yep.
when I told you to farm the camps along the way and when I told you not to. And like the time
Okay.
where you stopped for the watcher, why is that wrong? Because I want you to be with your team at the same time as Puck, and he was already there. So then
Gotcha.
you're
Okay.
making your team wait 3 seconds, which if Puck was coming from bottom lane, then you would consciously be like, oh, I have 3 extra seconds.
Yeah.
I can take this watcher. So a lot of the stuff that you're doing in terms of camps, watchers, runes, all that kind of stuff is what I was trying to show you in that game, which I think you got really good practice on, meaning like the pub was pretty nice. Your team was relatively like playing together and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it was a
Um,
good example of that
it
stuff,
was, yeah,
yeah.
it was a great example of what is your condition for fighting? Who are you following around? And having your positioning versus cooldowns be based on that, right? Oh, I'm like,
Mhm.
you can farm towards Muerta, but your ulti's up in 30 seconds. So go ahead and kill all the creeps along the way. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I want you to be near Puck. He's bottom, so farm your way there. And they're killing tower. Don't leave yet, but just farm the camp next to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the thing about Marcy, just real quick,
Mhm.
challenging your perception of Marcy, she she's an initiator if she's like having a good start for the first like 15 minutes of the game, but then there becomes a point where people have items and reactions to you jumping them. And
Yeah.
then it feels really bad to actually initiate with Marcy once that's the case. So
Mhm.
you actually become more of a secondary initiator um, as the game goes on. And that's why I was like, yeah, you can just sit behind your Muerta buffing him. You can just be a threat because if I'm Ursa, I want to see you go first. I don't want to blink in and try to kill somebody and have a Marcy blink on me with ult. That would suck. I want to
Yeah.
blink on the Marcy who's already blinked in, you know? Um,
Yeah. It kinda reminds me of Dawnbreaker a little bit, where, like, sometimes, like, when I was first learning Dawnbreaker, I would just ult in first, like, and maybe not even have BKB and just die to heroes like Ursa,
yeah.
because there was just, like there wasn't the threat of the Dawnbreaker ult to save whoever he was going on, so he'd just kill me and then whoever else.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, that like I think particularly that last fight, I think where Muerta had Aegis, or actually even like both the fights we had Aegis, where I was just like waiting and went in after, it felt like those fights were like, incredibly easy
Yeah.
because whoever they go on, like they're gonna get jumped on by me. So
Yeah. And remembering that it's like you can afford to outweight people on a hero like Marcy when you have other heroes that can force reactions. Like you have
mhm,
Puck, Mars, heroes that will make them use spells to defend themselves and stuff. So
yep,
a lot of it's like, you saw in the triangle fight, you saw your team initiate, it didn't go well, and you still felt like you had to go in. I think there is some degree of you feeling like you have to do something,
yes,
and
definitely.
that we can talk about that maybe in the future because I don't want to give you too much for a month. But that's not a thing, right?
Mhm,
There's no such thing as having to do something. Um,
yeah,
there's always a right place, right time to do something. And so we can help you
mhm,
hone that over time. I think the biggest one, like I said, what I'm really gonna look towards is how you separate from your team and combine back with your team based on your cooldown and which hero you choose to play around, like on the map. Because even though it's going to help you playing Marcy specifically, these are things that help you on any hero to understand conceptually and maybe the role that you play. Maybe you're the actual initiator if you're not a Marcy, like maybe you're
yep,
Axe or something. But even with Axe, sometimes you're the counter initiator and it's your job to sit behind the Muerta rather than go hunt for kills.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of offlaners have this dual function where sometimes they're the initiator and sometimes they're the counter initiation, just sit behind a guy. And I think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put here point of focus is on the looking for in your replays. And this is summary actually. Who is the
Yep.
point of contact on your team? Like
Yeah.
on map, on fights, and what is your role in this? Like when they get contacted, what do you do? Um, are you jumping the guy that goes on them? Are you jumping the people behind the guy that goes on them? Are
Yeah.
you waiting for a specific spell to come out so you're being even more patient? You're not jumping immediately. You know,
Mhm.
I think when you I think one of the best ways to bring yourself back to the game after having all these clouded thoughts of like, am I playing well? Am I helping?
Yeah.
One of the best ways to bring it back is what is the exact scenario I want to see? Like in Dota items and abilities and heroes terms, I'm only using Dota
Yeah.
item hero terms. And so what is your role in this? It's like, oh, they're gonna go on Puck. I'm gonna wait till I see DK and Ursa, and then I'm gonna jump Rubik. Like
Yeah.
that's an
Mhm.
example maybe in that game. Like I think jumping Wind Ranger is almost always bad because he has a spell that makes you miss. So,
Yeah.
and if you're like, wow, I feel like it's my job in the game to jump Wind Ranger, then that's why you buy Nullifier, right? You're like, okay, I need to be able to fucking do that. So,
Mhm.
then I do that. That will help you with items as well.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know I was thinking about that a little bit against Axe, like both in the previous replay I showed you and just I played a lot of Marcy against Axe. And I was like trying to figure out, okay, do I like wait for him? And then I think previously not being patient has like led me to lose a lot against Axe because I just don't wait for Blade Mail call to be over. And
Yeah.
I'll just go in and Axe is waiting and I get called and I die. And I
Yeah,
just
that's
like have been missing
that
that
checks
element in
out
my
with
game.
what I saw in the previous game. I think
Yeah.
right now, I told you scale 1 to 10. My scale of 1 to 10, my 10 is your 25, and eventually we'll
Yeah.
calibrate that down to a 10. But
Yeah.
I would say if you err on the side of patience, it will benefit you in the long run, and we're hopefully going to show you the benefits of being patient such that it can become more natural rather than um you kind of fighting your instinct. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
definitely. Yeah,
Uh
I think that game we played helped. That gave me a good example of it. So
nice. Any final
yep.
questions on your end?
No, I think I'm good for now. I appreciate it, BSJ.
Yeah,
It's very insightful.
awesome. Look forward to seeing your progress in the rest of the month. Appreciate you signing up. I had a good time. So, see you later.
Yep. Thanks. See you later.